Hello, dear students, and a very good morning to all of you. So, I am back here with the second part of the second chapter, that is Land, Soil, and Water Resources of Class 8th Geography. In the previous part, we discussed about the land resources, about the land degradation, about how land is classified on the basis of usage and ownership. So, all these things, why land resource is important to us, how can we conserve land resources, all these we have learned in the first part. Now in this part we are going to learn about the soil resources. Means in this part we will learn about soil, and let's have a look on the content. What is soil? Soil as a resource, formation of soil, factors affecting soil formation, profile of the soil, types of soil in India, soil degradation, soil conservation, and practices to control soil degradation. So, students, all of you are knowing that what is soil? Soil is the topmost surface of the earth crust. On the land, whatever we see on the surface of the land, that is whatever the surface of the top crust of the earth surface is only known as soil. So firstly we will learn about what is soil. So soil is the uppermost layer of the earth surface. All of you are knowing that. We have seen soil also. So soil is the uppermost layer, and all of us are knowing that plants grow soil. So it is a mixture of organic matter, that means that animal or plant decay, animal and plant. Minerals are also found there. Gases, we all are knowing that nitrogen and all are present under the soil only. Liquids, water is also present there. Organisms, like many microorganisms, live in the soil only. The soil is basically, the definition of the soil is the uppermost layer of the earth surface. It is a mixture of organic matter, gases, water, organism that support life. By soil only we are surviving here. Now, why soil is considered as a resource, or we can say that why soil is an important resource. All of you are knowing that soil is an important resource. First of all, a basic for growing crops. Soil is a medium where the crops grow. Soil is considered a valuable resource because all plants get encourage mineral, water and air from the soil. They bind in the soil only. Plants, the place where the plant reside is the soil only. So all the plants encourage minerals, water and air from the soil. Soil only bind the plants, soil only give them water, soil only give them air, minerals, so that the plant grow. All of us are knowing that soil is a storehouse of minerals also. Lots of minerals, a large number of minerals are present in the soil. These are extracted and used in the industries. You can take some example of the minerals also, like gypsum, bauxite, hematite. These are the example of minerals. So soil is a rich source of mineral also. Allow activities that are source of employment. Source of employment means soil is used for construction of buildings, roads, bridges, industries, dam, and also for cultivation of crops. The soil is a source of employment for us also, because by the help of soil only the construction of building or roads, bridges, industries, dams, this take place. Used as a raw material. All of us are knowing that soil is also used as a raw material, like the brick that you use for the construction of our houses, that is also made up of soil only. So bricks, mortar, for making the pottery also we use soil. The soil is also used as a raw material. Now all of us are knowing that soil is house for microorganism. Many small organisms live in soil. Soil make a very good natural habitat for various microorganisms. Now water storage also. Soil is having the capacity to percolate water into it. So the rainwater, whenever it is rain, the water percolates through soil and accumulate above bedrock to form the water table. All of us are knowing that what is water table? The underground water. So soil is having the capacity to percolate water. The water move through the soil under the different layers of soil. So it is also having the capacity to store water. Now, the water that percolates under the soil, that is only we are using for a domestic and agricultural purpose. The underground water, we use hand pumps. That water only come to us through the medium of hand pumps. So due to all these reasons, make soil as an important resource on the earth's surface, an important resource for human beings as well as plants, as well as animals and even microorganisms also. So that is why soil is considered as a resource. Now we will talk about how the soil forms. So students, the formation of soil is not a one-day process. It is a very slow process that takes place in thousands of years. So we learned about weathering. Weathering is the process of breaking up of rock into smaller pieces. So like that only, firstly the big rocks, the big pieces of rocks break up into smaller pieces. Then that smaller pieces again break up into smaller, like that only. But the last form is the soil. The formation of soil is not one day process. It took many years. And it take almost thousands of years for the formation of only few centimeters of soil. So, firstly what happened? The big pieces of rocks will break up into smaller pieces of rocks. So now how the weathering? What are the agents of weathering? The sun, the climatic conditions of that place, rainfall of that place. Then only the erosion will also take place. So the water, ice, wind, all these help, like trees also help in breaking up of rocks. So all these things helps in the weathering process. Then a big rock pieces break up into smaller one, then more smaller, and then they become soil. So the formation of the soil starts now from the very beginning. When the earth formed, at that time there was just rocky pieces, there was only rock. So from that time only the soil has started forming, and that rock pieces breaks into smaller pieces, and now we are having soil in this form. The soil formation is a very slow process. Soil is formed by the method of weathering, by the process of weathering. Weathering means breaking up of big rock pieces into smaller ones. So basically the agents that are responsible for the formation of soil, that is sun, wind, ice, plant, all these things. Now many factors. One more thing, we always see that soil of different places are of different qualities. Soil is also different at different places. Now why the soil is different at every place? Because the properties of soil changes from place to place. I am telling you that soils are formed by the rocks. So there is a big role of the parent rock, means from which the soil is forming, that is a parent rock. Suppose that a big piece of rock is there, from that the soil is forming. So that soil will be having the properties of that same rock. So that is only soil differs according to the climatic conditions. You can see what are the factors that affect the formation of soil. That is time. As the soil becomes older, like we have learned about three rocks. Now we have learned about three rocks, that was igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. So we have learned in metamorphic rock that as the time passes, due to the heat and pressure, the properties, not only physical, not only color or texture will change, the physical and chemical properties, that means the availability of minerals will also change in that rock. That rock changes the form. That sedimentary and igneous rock only change the form. Like that only there is in case of soil also. By the time the quality of the soil either improves or it can decrease also. Or we can say that the chemical composition of the soil, like it is having iron oxide or basaltic minerals, that chemical composition can also be changed according to the time. Topography depends a lot. Like I will explain you this also, how topography helps. Climatic conditions also helps, that the place is having if a place is not getting that much of wind or sunlight or rainfall, then the formation of soil will be slow in comparison to other places that is receiving enough rainfall or sunlight. Parent material is also responsible, that like that only I have explained you. Parent material means, yeah, parent rock we can say. Parent rock or parent material means the main rock piece from which the soil is forming. So all these factor plays an organisms also plays important role. Organism help in the proper nutrients. All of us are knowing that the microorganism that present in the soil increase the fertility of the soil. So that is only the quality of soil also improves with the help of microorganisms that lives under the soil. So look here, the first one is parent rock. So the original rock from which soil is formed is called parent rock. The main rock from which the soil is forming, that is only known as parent rock. The parent rock determine the mineral content, this from which the rock, suppose that it is a basaltic rock, it is a basalt. So basalt rock, the soil which formed from the basalt rock will be having the properties of same rock. So its color, its texture will be same. Chemical properties, water consuming property, that how much water retaining property will be same. So parent rock plays an important role because as the parent rock will be, like that only the soil will be. The properties of soil and parent rock will be same. Next is climate. So climate also plays an important role in the formation of soil, because the if the temperature will be warm, constant and abundant water supply, and water supply will also be more, then the formation of soil will speed up. Harsh temperature help in the speedy formation of the soil. Like the places that is having cold climatic conditions and the temperature is also very low, rainfall is also not that much, that areas at those areas the soil formation will be very less. So that is only high temperatures, heavy rainfall that will help in the breaking up of rock, severe winds. But the places that is having cold climate and all these, at these places the formation of the soil will be at slower pace. Now we will see about time, how time plays an important role. So time also plays important role. As the soil become older, the mineral change from one form to another. Its chemical compounds also change. Soil become, suppose that soil is grainy, now slowly it will become soft and clayey. The grains will also become smaller and smaller as the time passes. As soil takes thousands of years to form, some soil change color and also its properties over a period of time, because the soil takes much time in the formation. So the main concept behind the formation of soil is time only, because soil takes thousands of years in formation. So that time course is only changing the soil, changing the rock into different forms, then only it is changing into soil. Now topography means the physical feature. The place is mountainous, the place is having river valleys, the place is having plateaus. That also plays an important role in the formation of soil. So the slope and steepiness of the land, suppose that there is a mountainous region and there is having slope, so that will influence the water flow into runoff of the soil. So that will help in the formation of soil. Now the plain areas, heat is much, moisture get trapped in soil and make it richer and fertile. Because heat is much, the moisture will get retained in soil. Soil will consume moisture, that will increase in its fertility. Like at hillsides also, hillsides pe they are having thinner, because they are hillsides. Soil will not be there only at the top. It will again run off with the help of water. So that is only due to the at the hillsides there is wind is also much, water can also not wait there, cannot also not reside there. That is why there is soil erosion more. Now what is soil profile? All of you are already knowing about the soil profile, but then also I am explaining you about the soil profile. So students, soil profile is what? The vertical means from top to the bottom. So vertical, if we will talk about the vertical section, the vertical cutting of the soil, the soil profile is defined as a vertical section of the soil from the ground surface downwards to where the soil meets the underlying rock, from the rock to the surface of the earth. that is only the vertical section that layers of soil accumulates. So that is only known as surface. Yeah, we can say that soil profile or profile of the soil. So all of us are knowing that soil is having 5 major layers. These layers are divided on the basis of the properties shown by different layers. Different layers show different properties. So the first layer where the plant grows, that is the O horizon. O horizon means that is the uppermost layer. O horizon is the uppermost layer and that is the most organic one. It is mainly composed of organic material, like you can say that dry leaves are there, grasses are there, twigs are there, surface organisms also live there, and other decomposed animal, or we can say that the animals that died and decayed. So those animals, plants, dry leaves, the dead plants, they also reside in this layer only. So this is the most layer that is having the most humus content. This is O horizon. O horizon. If we move downwards towards the O horizon, now we are having A horizon. Next is A horizon, that is the surface. A horizon is also known as topsoil. So this soil is rich in organic material. It is known as humus layer. It is also known as humus layer. Organic matter decomposed here. Now seed, the germination of seed also take place in the topsoil. Germination of seed take place in the topsoil. Now if we will talk about the subsoil, that is B horizon. B horizon is just below the topsoil. In B horizon, present this layer just present below the topsoil. Now this layer is comparatively harder to the A surface and compact than top. You can look into the picture also. The A layer is having the subsoil is having small rock pieces also, and it will be more compact in comparison to the A surface. Now if we will talk about the next layer, that is C horizon. This C horizon is parent material. That means the rock pieces will be bigger in comparison to the subsoil. Now here weathered parent, that means downwards, last one is bedrock and above it is this one, C horizon. So it is not having any organic matter and it is made up of broken bedrock. Bedrock only broke up into this form. Last one is R horizon, that is bedrock. So it is compact and cemented. Totally it is in the rock form. So what is soil profile? Soil profile is defined as a vertical section of the soil from the ground surface downwards to where the soil meets the underlying rock. Now how many layers it is having? It is having basically 5 layers. O organic, O layer, that is A horizon, B horizon, C horizon and R horizon. That is organic, surface, subsoil, substratum and bedrock. So this is soil profile. Next we will see types of soil in India. So students, you can have a look here. Types of soil in India. So first of all, red soil. The red soil will be in red color. You can see in the map. In map you can see red and yellow soil. So this one is the red soil. Here this whole area is red soil. Next, if we will talk about alluvial soil, so we can see here the northern plain is having alluvial soil and a little bit here is in Gujarat also. If we will talk about the black soil, so black soil is in little bit in Gujarat and this Madhya Pradesh area, Maharashtra area and all these areas is having black soil. Mountain or forest soil, it is clear by the name only. Mountain or forest soil will be near the mountains. You can see here these are mountainous rock. Now if we will talk about laterite soil, the laterite soil are basically found here, very little much here near the western Ghat it is, and near here little part of Rajasthan. Now arid and sandy rock, so you can see here arid or sandy means the desert soil. So that desert soil is little bit is more in Rajasthan and little bit in Gujarat. I will explain you about the properties of this soil also. Now first we will talk about the red soil. As by name it is clear that red soil will be red in color. Red, or it is also known as yellow soil. So this red soil, why it is having red color? Because of the presence of iron oxide. Since iron oxide is present in this, please remember the question comes like this, that why the color of the soil is red. So it is red soil because there is presence of iron oxide. So this soil is basically, it is has poor content of nitrogen and humus, less amount of humus and nitrogen is present in this soil. Remember this also, this soil is also known as Lateri soil. This soil is also known as Lateri soil. So basically it forms the top soil, the clay particle. That means this is in granuled form, grain form. These soil form over different rock types and cannot retain much moisture. Water it cannot hold much. Basically this type of soil is found in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Southern Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. Remember the places. It is important for your geography part that where is the red soil basically found. The Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Southern Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. These are the places where the red soil is mainly found. Now, if someone asks you what is red soil, so what things you have to remember? Red soil is also known as yellow soil or Lateri soil also. Red soil is having iron oxide, that is why its color is red. So red soil is having poor content of nitrogen and humus. Okay, it is not having that much property to retain moisture. It is basically found in this and this places in India. This much you have to remember about red soil. Now next soil is black soil. So black soil is porous, that means water can easily pass through it. Rich in mineral and humus, it is rich in minerals. Mineral presence is also very high and humus, organic matter is also high. This soil is rich in iron and magnesium and this soil is formed of basaltic. Its parent rock is basalt. So from basalt rock, this one black soil is formed. That is why it is black in color. So all of you are knowing that black soil is good for the cultivation of cotton and sugarcane. It is also known as rigor. It is also known as rigor. Now in India, it is basically found in Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and some part of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Black soil is basically known as rigor. It is having a good content of humus and minerals. It is formed from its parent rock, that is basalt, and it is porous. It can contain moisture into it. Next is, it is good for the cultivation of cotton and sugarcane. Basically you have to know that where is this soil found in India. The next soil if we will talk about, that is the alluvial soil. It is clear by its name only. Alluvial soil means the soil that is formed by the alluvium. Now what is alluvium? Alluvium, all of you are knowing that alluvium is a collection of that silt, grain, sand that is brought by the rivers from the mountain. So alluvial soil is basically found where the rivers are present. Alluvial soil is found in the plains along the river Ganga and Brahmaputra and the deltaic region where there is water. It is loamy in texture and contain plenty of humus. What is loamy? What is the meaning of loamy? That is, loamy in structure means it is having good amount of salt, silt and clay particle. This soil is good for the cultivation of plant because it contains humus and it can hold sufficient water and greater aeration. That means aeration, air also, presence of air is also good in this. So that is only loamy. Loamy means it is a mixture of sand, silt and clay particles. Clay, this soil is clay. And this soil is very fertile. It is basically good for the cultivation of wheat, rice and sugarcane or whatever pulses also that are basically grown in northeastern India. It is known as khadar. Now, in India, it is mainly found in the plain of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Bihar, West Bengal and coastal regions of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. The alluvial soil, remember this, as the word alluvial soil comes, just get it or just remind this, that alluvial soils are basically formed by the collection of the alluvium brought by the rivers. So this soil is basically found in the river valleys. Like in Uttar Pradesh also, this type of soil is there. Next soil is arid or desert soil. As this is also clear by the name desert soil, that means the soil that basically found in desert area. Now this soil will not be clay. This soil is sandy to gravelly. That means it is in the form of sand. Sand you have seen. Gravelly, that means It cannot store more water with low organic content and low nutrients. It is having low mineral capacity also and low organic content also. This type of soil is basically found in dry and semi-arid area. Arid means where we cannot grow anything. Basically in Rajasthan and Gujarat. This soil is having soluble salt. So this question can also come like that which soil is having soluble salts. So you can say that arid or desert soil is having soluble salts. It is not good for the cultivation of crops. Anyhow, some crops, or we can say that some plants can grow in this soil. Now next, if we will talk about, it is mountain soil. It is also clear the soil that is present near the mountain, that is only the mountain soil. But this soil is very fertile but varies from place to place. Since mountain is having steep downfall, that is having the variety of this soil differ from place to place. This is the soil that is having highest humus content. It is having highest humus content in it. And if we will talk about the alluvium areas where the river valleys are there, so there this soil is very fertile. From where the soil formation is starting, from the peak of the mountains, the soil is not that much good. But as we come downwards, the quality of the soil start improving. It is mainly found in the Himalayan ranges and northeastern part of India. So this type of soil is basically found in near the Himalayan ranges. Like we have learned about now, that Himalayan ranges is also divided into 3 ranges: outer Himalayas, middle Himalayas. So it is divided. So if you will talk about upper Himalayas, so there this soil is not that good. Middle aate it will improve, and near the foot of the Himalayas it is good. Now laterite soil, as is it clear by the name, it means brick type of soil. The quality of this soil is that this soil is basically found or formed in the regions where there is heavy rainfall. Where there is heavy rainfall, there only these types of soil formed. This soil is having a quality that if it is wet, then it can be broken easily. But if it become dry, so it will become like a rock. So as it get water, it becomes easy to break it. But if it is dry, it will turn as hard as rock, just like cement. If cement will get water, so it will start setting. So what about it? If it is getting water, then it will become damp. That means it can easily broke up. But as it consumes all the water and become dry, then it becomes hard. It is good for plantation crops. This soil is good for plantation crops. Plantation crops means the crop with more leaves, that is leaves used like tea, coffee and coconut. In India, it is mainly found near the western Ghats and in parts of Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Assam. Tea plantation is basically carried out in Assam and Odisha. So this type of soil is present in Assam, Odisha part. So what about it? This soil is basically found in the regions where there is heavy rainfall. This soil is having quality that if it is dry, it will become hard like rock, and if it is wet, it will become soft. It is good for plantation crops. Now, what is soil degradation? Degradation means degrade. That means decrease in the quality of the soil. So that is only known as soil degradation. Soil degradation means the physical and chemical composition of the soil, if it started decreasing, then this process is only known as soil degradation. That means there is a decrease in the quality of soil. You can say like this, like loss of organic matter, soil fertility reduces, erosion take place, salinity increases, the soil become desertification increases, the soil acidic property of the soil increases, decrease in water composition of the soil, mixture of, like we have learned in land degradation, that how industries dump their waste in the soil, so that chemicals mixed into the soil and reduce the fertility of the soil, and effect of that toxic chemicals या pollutant या excessive flood will also erode the soil. So overall, the degradation means there is reduce in the quality of the soil, or we can say that there erosion of the soil take place. Now, what is soil erosion? All of you are knowing the meaning of erosion. Erosion means moving from one place to the another place. Now, what is soil erosion? Removal of the topsoil from one place to another by natural agent. Like that only, erosion takes place with the medium of water. Water also removes soil from one place to another. By the medium of wind also, wind also moves soil from one place to another. So these are the natural agent that plays important role in the soil erosion. So it is basically caused by the action of running water, wind, rainfall and sunlight. But more and more soil erosion is being processed nowadays due to the deforestation. All of you are knowing that plant or trees plays an important role for binding the soil. The roots of the plant or trees bind the soil so that the soil do not erode. Now if we will cut the plant, the soil plant or trees, the soil will become loose and it will start eroding, or it will be easier for the agents to erode the soil from one place to another. Overgrazing also same. If the plants will be grazed by the animals, then also that soil will become without plant and it will become loose. Agriculture is also same. What agriculture? Again and again growing crops in the same field is due to this, that soil loses its fertility. Mining purpose also, soils are being dug, grounds are being dug, so that only soil is removed from that place, are responsible for large scale of soil erosion. So basically human activities are responsible for more and more soil erosion. Now you can see that soil erosion can take place. Two types of soil erosion can be there. One is gully erosion. Gully means, and it is Hindi word only. Gully means huge amount of soil is eroding, means deep erosion. It is eroding deep amount of soil. You can see in the picture what is gullies, how the soil is eroding. And sheet erosion means only the surface soil is moving. So you can see in the sheet erosion, surface soil only move from that place. And what is gully erosion? Deep amount of soil is eroding from one place to another. Like it happens in the landslide, that is also a form of gully erosion only. Now we will learn about soil conservation. Conservation word is very familiar to you. Conservation means to protect. So that is only soil conservation means to protect the topmost layer of the soil from erosion, or to protect the soil so that the soil cannot reduce its fertility, or soil do not become more, the content of salt do not increase in soil, and to protect the soil from the chemical or toxic pollutants. So this is only soil conservation. We have to conserve the soil because soil is a very valuable resource for us. So what is soil conservation? To prevent the soil from losing its fertility, to prevent the soil from soil erosion, to prevent the soil to become acidify or saline in nature. So that is only to protect the soil from the chemical pollutants. So this is soil conservation. Now students, there are different practices that we follow to control soil degradation. We used to follow certain practices, we can say that certain agricultural practices, so that we can stop the soil degradation. So that is ground cover vegetation, mulching is there, contour barriers are there, contour plowing is there, intercropping, terrace farming, drip irrigation and shelter belts. So if we will talk about ground cover vegetation, so is it clear by the name only that we have to cover the whole ground for growing the vegetation. Now here the vegetation means herbs or shrubs. Whenever we used to cover the area by growing herbs or shrub that can spread in a particular area, that is only known as ground cover vegetation. You can see in the picture about the ground cover vegetation that how small shrubs and herbs have covered all the areas. So it is only ground cover vegetation is a process of growing any plant over an area of ground. Now this protect the topsoil also from erosion and from drought also. From droughts also it will prevent. Now if we will see the next one, it is mulching. Mulch is a layer. Mulch is an organic layer that contains dry leaves, stones, all these things that forms. So mulch is a layer that people use to collect over the root of the tree. You can see in the picture that how mulch, dry leaves, straws, twigs, that all are collected to cover the root of the plant. So that why people used to do this also prevents soil erosion. Soil will not erode from that place. Now if you are pouring water into that mulch, then water will also slowly reside into the root, so it will also not going to erode the soil. So mulch is a process of covering the surface of soil by applying organic or inorganic materials. Now it stabilizes soil temperature. Moisture will also retain in the soil. Temperature will also be normal because straws will make it cool. Reduce soil erosion, and it will also improve the fertility and health of the soil. That increases as it becomes older, it decay and increase the fertility of the soil. Now contour barriers and contour plowing. So this is mainly practiced at the hilly slopes only, at the places that are having slopes. So contour barriers, wherever there is a slope, the water will completely, we can say that the speed of the water, the moving of the water will be more. So if the speed will be more, it will erode more soil with it. That is why this contour barriers are formed. Contour barrier means the barriers that are made up of stone also, the barriers that are made up of trees also, barriers, rukavat, that can also be made by mud also. So like that only you can see in the picture. Wait. You can see here in the picture, this is the contours. These contours help in decreasing the speed of the flow of water. That decrease the speed of the flow of water. So that is why these contours are made, so that the water can stop here, or slow becomes, the speed of the water becomes slow. Like that only contour plowing is also there. You can see that it is a farming practice of plowing across a slope along its contours. These contours are created here. So this also helps in slowing the speed of the running water. Now next one is intercropping. Intercropping, as you are seeing in the example in the picture, that how it is one type of crop and it is another type of crop. So two crops are being grown in the same field in the same growing season. So this is also known as intercropping, to grow same crop at same time. So intercropping is the method of growing two or more crops on the same land in same growing season. Now what will happen to it? Now this process help in the conservation of soil. Through this method we can conserve soil. So basically in this, one plant is fast growing and the other one is take longer time to mature. Both the plant depend on each other. Here also this is known as intercropping. This also help in reducing the soil erosion and to improve the fertility of the soil. If next we will see, this is terrace farming. All of you are already familiar to this word. Terrace farming means the practice of farming that is being carried out on the hill slopes. There also terrace-like structures are formed. Terrace-like structures are formed so that the speed of water will decrease. So that the water, if there will be slope, then water will move like this. But here what is? Water can stop and the speed of the water will become less. So this only also, it will help in the runoff of rainwater, runoff of soil. Soil will not erode in a speed. So this basically people follows to decrease the flow of the water. So like this only we can reduce the surface runoff of the soil. Crop rotation. All of us are knowing that regularly growing crop in the field, the fertility of the soil decreases. So to improve the fertility of the soil and to follow the practices so that the soil do not reduce, the fertility of the soil do not reduce. So for that only we use a crop rotation. That means for 1 year we can use different crops to grow. Like you can see that in the example that in 3 seasons we have to grow crop. So one will be more consuming soil fertility, one is less consumer of soil fertility, less consumer of nutrients or minerals. So like that only. So this prevent us crop also with insect and diseases, and also help soil to conserve soil nutrients. So basically in this, when we grow two or more crops one after the another in a regular sequence on the same land. So this method of farming is called crop rotation. It controls insect and disease and also help to conserve soil nutrients. Now next one is drip irrigation. All of us are knowing irrigation means to give water to the crops. If we will use a force method of irrigation, so it will erode soil. Why we use drip? As you see that pipes are being used to, from these pipes the water is reaches to each and every crop. So this is we are reducing the release of water. What we are doing, we are reducing the release of water here. It is the method of irrigation by slow release of water to each plant to conserve water and prevent soil runoff. So if we will decrease the speed of water, flow of water, then it will not erode the soil of that place. So that is why drip irrigation is being followed for the irrigation purpose. Now shelter belt or wind breaks. Now as you can see here, shelter beds. So here is a row of tree. Here also you can see row of tree. So what it is doing, it is reducing the speed of the wind. What it will do, it will reduce the speed of the wind so that the wind do not erode the soil of that place. So when one or more rows of trees or shrubs planted to protect an area, especially a field of crop, from the fierce weather or to prevent soil erosion. This is only known as shelter belt. A row of trees, one or more rows also you can grow. So this only protect with the erosion of soil. So students, the second part is over. Now after this only water resource is left. We will discuss water resource in the third part. Till then I am providing you some questions. Please do it in your SST additional copy. Why soil is considered as an important natural resource? Write any 5 steps you would take to conserve the soil. You should write 5 steps. What you can use to conserve soil, what is soil erosion, and define intercropping, terrace farming and mulching. Students, I want to remind you one more thing. Intercropping and crop rotation is different. Intercropping means to grow two kind of crops at the same time in the same land during the same season. Same time, that like I have shown you the diagram. What is crop rotation? Like for different interval of time, we are sowing this seed, then it is after maturing it we are cutting it down, then we are growing another crop. This is crop rotation. We are rotating the crops. And intercropping means we are growing same crops in the same field in the same season. Okay, so this is all for today. Please do these questions in your additional copy, and we are also providing the question answers. Thank you, students.